Hi, ballroom dancers. Today's question: what do you do when you get conflicting information from different coaches? I have two primary coaches. One is a world champion many moons ago in ballroom and Latin. They're a current NDCA judge. They've taught many pro couples, and so I really trust their advice the most. But I have a long-term pro-am partner who I compete with. Often it's a long-distance partnership. When I get together with them and dance the fixes the better coach gives them, they argue. They are intractable. They want this dancer to do it their way. And it just doesn't work well with my body. They actually are decent pros, but just not as accomplished as the other. They don't have a problem with me taking with her, especially since it's a long distance partnership. And I do maintain our partnership connection through several Zoom privates a week. But big picture, they're controlling. They're unwilling to adjust to any different style of dance. Even when I gently say something, the better trained pro says this is a big red flag and suggests that I find a new pro-am partner. But I have a really good relationship with them. They even let me stay in their apartment. We're in town. Oh my goodness, it's so frustrating. What should I do? Okay, I have 6 suggestions for you that should be helpful because we've all been in this boat, my friend. Number 1, in my experience, the less training the teacher has, the more rock solid set they are in their way and don't recognize that there can be more than one way to dance. It's not that they're trying to hold you back. They just don't know any better. I can tell you, my coaches, world champions, they had a lot of conflicting information, but I'll tell you this, across the board, they all agreed that there's different ways to get to that beautiful dancing level. They all respected each other. He said, well, okay, do what works for you. Here's what's worked for me. I'm just sharing that as my personal experience. Early on in my career, I did take with a little bit less, well, quite a bit less accomplished pros. And yeah, they were definitely just like, my way or the highway. Okay, next up, number 2, visiting coaches. These are one-off lessons. Maybe you'll take 10 lessons in a pop and see ya. Hey, just do what they say. Can they describe why they are teaching something in a different way? They can link it to what your regular home coach is saying, but in my opinion, you got a finite number of hours to take with them. It's going to be a waste of 90% of that lesson if they explain everything to you. I would use your home coach time for that and just do what that visiting coach says. Scrap it if it didn't work for you, okay? Okay, number 3, if you have multiple primary coaches, you are going to find conflict. If either party is inflexible, personally, I'm not going to waste my valuable lesson time debating what feels good to me. Here's what they said. They're going to maybe be intimidated. I'm trying to teach them. I just do it their way. Look, hey, I don't want to work on this today. Can we do this? And you know what? The beautiful thing about dancing is there's 1,000 things you can work on. And I guarantee not all of them are going to be in conflict, okay? You're still going to be the better dancer. Number 4, you're not only going to get conflicting info between multiple teachers, you're often, when you get to those higher levels, going to get conflicting info from your own coach. 1 week to the next, 1 lesson to the next, 1 hour to the hour. Why is this? Well, dancing is a lot like a pendulum. In my experience, I do tend to teach the way my coaches taught me because they taught the best couples in the country, reliably saw the best results. Did I get a lesson where they say more flight? No, less flight. Feet together, feet apart. Yes, but they were just honing in to get to that perfect sweet spot in the end. So they throw it this way, they throw it this way, they throw it this way, and they dial in gradually, okay? So you might think that info is conflicting. It's very possible they're teaching the same thing. They're just, oh, I went too far this way, let's try this again. And then it comes back down. Ultimately, you learn fastest by going to what I'll call extremes. This does not happen early on in your dance career because the entire syllabus is codified. The book says heel, toe, angle, rise, fall. So that's easy to parrot out that information. But frankly, guys, once you get to that open, making your dancing beautiful level, you're going to get a heck of a lot of conflicting information because it is not codified. It's not written down anywhere. And beauty is in the eye of the beholder. At that point, we're all doing it textbook correct. You're doing it textbook correct if you're in pre-champ or open scholarship. At that point, that artistic element is going to come in. There's different ways to do it. There's not a right or wrong. There's just a what's best for you. There's not codified words like we have in the syllabus. This is your heel. This is your angle. So it's way more open to interpretation. In pro-comp strategies, almost all of us have taken with many pros. We know they're conflicting opinions. Guess what? We literally change the dancing as we go around the floor, depending on what judge we happen to be dancing next to. Straight up, just telling you the truth. Okay, number 5. You must tell all the parties who else you're taking lessons with. Because if you have an experienced pro, they're going to know how the other people teach. They're going to know why that teacher is teaching it in a way that sounds totally different than the way that I would teach you. That's fine. Tell them, because we can 99.9% of the time be like, oh yeah, here's what they meant. And here's how it dovetails into what we're working on today. This will help alleviate a lot of that frustration. Does it take patience? Yeah. But if hearing the explanation takes your stress away, totally worth it. Final thought, number 6. In my career, it was exponentially most stressful when my partner came from a conflicting coaching background, and my second pro partner did. There are political camps, and he took from what I'll call Camp A. I took from Camp B. So his primaries were long retired competitors. My primaries were current world finalists, but the info was night and day. It was tough. And I, like you, felt, well, my coaches are the current world champions. Why are we doing it the way that they did it 40 years ago in comps? But honestly, guys, I came out the best dancer in the end because I was able to see the big picture and a variety of ways to do things. And honestly, it's a gift. At the time, truth be told, a lot of biting my tongue, real frustrating. But in retrospect, it was a great gift he gave to me. And I appreciate the info we get from everyone, even when it is darn frustrating. And I apologize that you're going through that. We all been there. So anyway, I hope that helps give you a couple hints on how to go forward here in an awesome way. Okay, I look forward to seeing everyone tomorrow morning for some more things ballroom dance. Thank you so stinking much for your amazing questions, guys. It is so easy for me to make a video when I know what stories you want me to share. Okay, happy dancing. Doodles.